the truth of Hear the Wind Blow is that ever since I was a little girl, actually, I just have loved to listen to the sounds of the world. And I particularly love to listen to the wind, really, for true. And when I was a little girl, I used to lie in the grass, and I would lie in the beach, and I would on the beach, and I would put my back up against a tree. Anytime I could, I would just listen to the sounds of the world. And one of my favorite sounds in the world, when I was a little girl, was listening to the sea, to the wind on the sea and the waves on the sea. My grandfather had a cottage that was on the sea, and I can remember this to this day, the smells and the sounds and the feeling of the cool sand under my toes, and just the sound of the rushing waves. And it's just been a part of my life since I cannot remember a time that I did not hear the rhythm of the sea, like in the cells of my body. So I used to do little funny things when I was a little girl. I especially loved these two sounds paired together. An airplane in the distance on a summer day, paired with a lawnmower. And I just loved that sound. I would just soak up that sound. And I love the wind. I love the wind at the sea. I love the wind in the mountains. And I wrote this book on a porch in the state of Maine. Every summer I go to Maine with my beloved writing women who help me write every single word I put on paper. And I have a favorite place there. It's a wonderful daybed on a beautiful porch. And I wrote this book while listening to the wind. We listen to the wind every summer. Everybody, all my women will back me up on this one. And where I sit to write, there is a swinging lamp right over my head, a beautiful old industrial farm lamp, you might say, an old tin lamp. And it swings on a beautiful little black and white cord. And I just close my eyes and listen to the wind on that porch every single summer. And I just knew that one day I would write the song of that wind. And this book is dedicated to Judy and Jerry Thies, who own that home on the pond. And under their roof, I listen to the wind each summer. So that's pretty much the backstory.
Now, how did you become a writer? Did you always want to write? And then you write poetry.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really always want to be a writer. I wanted to be, from the very start, I actually had just all the qualities of a writer. First of all, I'm a really nosy, busybody. I really especially liked hiding underneath the kitchen table or the dining room table, listening. So listening has just always been a big part of my world. I also misbehaved a lot. So I was kind of a wanderer. I didn't like to come home for dinner. And I was usually out collecting sounds and collecting information, in the woods and by the sea, and on the jetties. I grew up in Fairfield, Connecticut. One time I got in really big trouble for walking out to Penfield Light with my brother and my sister when we didn't really know how the tides worked quite. And that was not the best night of my life. Actually, it was the best day thus far. But that night I got what they used to call a good talking to. So it was that kind of that wandering curiosity, I think, that got me started as a writer. And I love being out in nature. When I was a little girl, I used to take classes at the local Audubon Society, summer classes, and we would do bird banding and we would do dam building and all kinds of study of the wildlife habitat. So those are among the ways that I kind of got started being a writer. And I began to be a poet when I was 9 years old. I wrote a poem for my mother and I put it next to her dinner plate, and I can tell you exactly what it said. Are you ready?
Oh, we're ready.
Okay. It's a stunner. Over by the woodpile, growing in the dirt, I saw some little flowers, so I picked them.
See, that's beautiful.
Isn't that great? I
Nice.
still have it. I wrote it on a little fragment of paper about this big. And my mother left it by her dinner plate, and I took it back, and I still have that little scrap of paper.